Again. Okay. Okay. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the UK LiveVantage information session. My name is G. Fletcher. My original name is Grania, and I'm from Ireland, and I've lived now over in Australia for 28 years. In that time, I have been a traditional business owner, owned recruitment agency, as well as owning clinics with my husband. And for the past couple of years now, I have been with LiveVantage, and you're going to hear hopefully why I decided to join them, and so happy that I did. So I live on the Sunshine Coast with my 2 kids and my hubby. And I'm just going to go through now with you about why LiveVantage. What is LiveVantage? So basically, LiveVantage is the leader in a new medical breakthrough, which is called, through science, which is called nutrigenomics. Now, what nutrigenomics is, it's basically the study of how nutrition and food, kind of plant-based food, can affect our genes. So we can show now that by changing the food and by giving our genes the food it needs, we can actually alter some predisposed genes that we may have had, because we all want to live longer and much healthier lives. So the first speaker that I'd like to introduce you to is Ranil Sharma. Ranil has an amazing background that he's going to just basically explain to you now about why he decided to become a distributor and why he decided to get involved with LiveVantage. Thank you, Ranil.
Thanks, G. Hi, everyone. And given that we're speaking to people in the UK, first of all, I'd like to apologise. We love our Australian accent down here. And from what I hear, you guys don't mind it either. So if it doesn't come across so well, sorry about that. Make allowances for me. I'm just an Aussie bloke down here trying to do my best. As an introduction, I run a large business within a blue chip corporate. And over the years, I've been an entrepreneur. I've started my own businesses. I've worked within large corporate and multinationals. And along with that, I've had a really, really big interest in natural health and well-being, probably for about 25 odd years. And in fact, I'm trained in psychotherapy and psychology, and I do a whole lot of things as my hobby business, as my wife calls it, around personal well-being and health. And that's how I actually got involved with this product. Because for me, it really is about the product first. So one of my clients, who's a very high-powered executive, extremely intense, lots of anxiety-type symptoms. One day I met with him and things had shifted. And, the shift in him was really marked. And I asked him and he told me, I'm taking this tablet. I said, give it to me. I had a look at the ingredients. I'm familiar with all of these ingredients. In fact, I was using some of them myself at that time in their component forms. And I went, wow, this is cool. I tested it on myself in terms of muscle testing and just body reaction testing, and then started the products. And immediately within a couple of days, felt a response. Asked several of my clients to start taking it as well, and saw they experienced immediate responses. When I say immediate, within 2 to 3 days. Now, the company gives us guidance that you should expect around a month's worth of consuming the product for 10 years of life. So if you're 40 years old, that's 4 months before you expect a significant response. Probably around about a dozen of my clients within the first week, they started to see a response. And to me, that was phenomenal. As I said, being familiar with all of the ingredients and understanding that the benefit that they bring, what I appreciated was the leveraged benefit of this product. And we had our chief scientist down, and in speaking to her, she explained that absolutely the patent that they've created for Protandim is phenomenal. It gives a 1 to 18 response, but I'll get to that in a moment. Firstly, who is the company? How did they get here? What is this all about? Well, you know what? This company's been around for a long time, 14 odd years. They're a biotech company, well established in the technology. And back in the early 2000s, they were selling it retail through health food stores. Wasn't overly successful. It was just thereabouts. In 2005, the ABC in the US had a news report that they aired, and immediately the response was phenomenal. Sales went through the roof overnight. The stock went crazy. It's a NASDAQ listed company. What we found, though, as an organization is that they were not structured for this level of growth. The infrastructure absolutely needed investment. The sales team and training needed to develop for the level of market demand. And of course, the marketing and messaging that was in place needed to be modified. So this is where that next level of growth kicked in. In 2009, the organization adopted a direct sales model, a multi-level marketing model with a difference. And G's going to explain the difference later. And on the business side, this is what totally attracted me, because it wasn't the classic MLM business. And of course, the success ensued. Now back to the product, because this is what really interested me. So what are the key things that this product addresses that we all are describing or will describe to you some of the symptoms of? Well, oxidative stress is the primary thing. And, it's one of those symptoms, free radical, its impact on our cells. But what does that actually mean? Well, we in our everyday lives are exposed to oxidative stress, or our body reacts in a way that creates oxidative stress. And the stresses in the environment that impact us are things we're not even aware of. Things from power lines, things like Wi-Fi and mobile phones, things like the products you use on your body, whether it's a soap, whether it's a toothpaste, whether it's a cream, let alone the food we eat. These all create a reaction in our body, primarily oxidative stress. Also tied to that is inflammation, and also tied to that is a toxification, which leads to a lesser level of health. Now, in some people's cases, they really look after themselves, and so it may not be obvious. But some of the symptoms that manifest for oxidative stress can be the obvious, like just a fatigue, a tiredness, some form of lethargy, all the way through to some very physical and tangible symptoms, aches, pains, the illnesses that we would expect that come from all of these things, whether it's a chronic fatigue and anxiety, some of the more serious physical ailments that need direct intervention. And of course, it affects at every level. So how does nutrigenomics and the Protandim approach fit into our everyday lives? Well, hopefully we're all about quality of life and longevity of life. So if we look at a typical life cycle, maybe if we're looking at a 70-year life cycle, we tend to have higher quality. It diminishes over time as we age, as we go through life, as our bodies go through that process. And ideally what we'd all want to be doing is increasing both the quality and the longevity of our lives. And typically at some stage, if we're not well, we need some intervention, whether it's drug or some other treatment for a condition or illnesses that we're experiencing. And that extends hopefully both our quality of life and our length of it as well. If we take a proactive approach, and many of us do, whether it's through diet or exercise or good sleep or yoga or meditation, there's a big awareness of this these days, then these help to impact our experience, longevity, and again, quality of life. Where Protandim fits in is that as we look to reduce free radicals and increase our antioxidants, naturally both occur. Firstly, we reduce oxidative stress, we reduce inflammation, we increase the quality of our life, as I was describing earlier with myself and some of my clients. And then it leads to a better functioning of us as an organism, and hopefully extends our life cycle, accidents barring, of course. So oxidative stress. Now, how does that work with Protandim? Well, Protandim is actually the first peer-proven natural NRF2 activator. What does that mean? NRF2 is an enzyme, and that stimulates at a DNA level 400 different processes in generally a number of categories: antioxidation, immune system support and boost, and detox. So how does it do that? Well, each of these natural ingredients that we see here, the 5, in themselves provide some of those functions in the particular way that they've been put together, and that's a patented system. we'll see on the graph on the right-hand side, in that particular formula, there is an 18 times response. So I was taking some of these in their raw form and in their own right. And I immediately stopped because I could see that I was getting a much more concentrated and immediate impact by taking this formula. And it was pretty simple, one tablet versus multiples. Some of these in their own right can be magnified. For example, turmeric, when combined with black pepper and a fat, can increase significantly its efficacy on the body. However, our chief scientist shows us 36 times in the research that they've undertaken for Protandim as a patented product. So what else can we do? Well, most of us know about some of the dietary interventions we can have. We can eat berries and oranges and things which are high in natural antioxidants. And typically, you can see the numbers there of how they affect us in the body. And this concentrated formula of Protandim impacts significantly more. I mean, I can't even fathom intellectually some of these numbers, but that's what the research shows us. And of course, the numbers of free radicals that generally we have as an average. Of course, the more stressful the lifestyle we have, and I guess I fit that category pretty well, as does Beata and she'll talk about that a bit later. So we particularly might notice that more than some of you who are healthier and more relaxed. But I'll leave that for you to discover yourselves. So glutathione is one of those major antioxidants, considered the mother of antioxidants. These are some of the benefits as your body starts to create more or boost it. And of course, that's one of the ones that is stimulated by the NRF2 protein and the Protandim product at that genetic level. So these are some of the institutions that have conducted independent studies and have then published on PubMed about NRF2 protein and Protandim. Now, this is actually quite significant because I don't actually know of any other supplement company, natural or otherwise, that has peer-reviewed, published research, let alone from some of these institutions. And, I'm sure some of you might have more experience with these guys, but when I read about the institutions that have taken the research, they're all reputable, some more so than others, or better known than others, I should say. What do they say? Well, there's 23 peer-reviewed, published research articles. That's pretty significant. 3 of which are human-based, and there's a 4th which is yet to be loaded on there, which I've started to read, and I find it quite phenomenal. What can I say? Have a look on there, see what you think if you like. Some people want to know about research, some people don't. For me, the critical component in it is that there's multiple research pieces over a period of time by reputable institutions. So there's a lot of activity and focus on how we can be affected by this sort of approach. So what is the product? Well, this first one is the NRF1 Synergizer, Protandim. It boosts the mitochondria function. As you can see there, it's got 5 plant-based ingredients. And some of the significant things we notice are some cognitive and brain health functions and healthy blood and cardiovascular system impacts, because it actually affects at a mitochondrial level. It's used in combination with the NRF2 oxidative stress product. This is what lowers the inflammation, detoxes your system, and increases oxidative function in the body. Those two work really, really well together because one impacts the DNA processes and the other looks at the cellular function and health at a mitochondrial level. So G has a great way of describing it. How do you describe how these two work together, G?
Well, it's just the punch bag. But there's a car, and we often say that mitochondria is like the engine of your car, and Protandim is like the rust on the outside. So, or it's like shampoo and conditioner. Protandim is the shampoo, and NRF1 is the conditioner. So you need to do NRF2 first.
Yeah, fantastic. So another example of how there's leverage. So whilst the products stand alone really well by themselves, I'm a leverage guy. I like to do whatever I can to increase my wellness and my experience of my own life and with my family. And this is where the skin products come in, because I had them sitting there and my wife had been at me saying, look, are you going to give me these products or not? Are you going to give me these products or not? And we actually had a friend come down for the weekend who then started using the product. And, she used the system. She's typically only used vegan products on her skin, natural-based products. She used it 3 times, one morning, one night on the Saturday, and then the Sunday morning. And I'm saying to her, good morning, Nadine, how are you? Why have you got makeup on? She goes, well, no, I don't wear makeup. And I'm going, wow, your skin looks so smooth. She goes, I was wondering if you'd notice, because that's the big impact that I've noticed. This stuff feels good, and I can't believe it's affected me so quickly. And then my wife came out and promptly told me off and grabbed the other set that I had there. And as usual, us blokes, it takes us a while to catch up with these things. So excuse me, ladies. But here's an example. This is what I saw in Nadine's face. So one of our distributors put the skin products, he utilized them on one side of his face and did his typical male skincare regime on the other, which all you blokes, I'm sure, are understanding what I'm talking about here. And, I've got a bit of a genetic head start, but I think I'm going to start using these things too, because you can see he looks pretty good on one side. And I guess we can get away with it as guys, ladies. Don't say anything. Come on, give us a break. Thank you.
Okay, thanks so much, Ronelle. You just blow me away with your knowledge. I just can sit and listen to you all day. So now I have the great pleasure of introducing Beata Karapatwa. Beata has become a dear friend to me, and this is really going to speak to you about why she aligned herself with this company and these products as well. Thank you, Beata.
Well, thank you, everybody. It's an honour to present to you. I'd like to share a little bit of my story with you, if I may. So I have a number of roles. I'm actually a CEO of a technology company. I'm an entrepreneur. I run a couple of businesses, and I also chair a board. And I'm the mother of 2 young adults, so that's my favourite role. But going back about 4 months ago, I was really struggling with energy, and I was particularly struggling with the brain fog. I just found I wasn't as focused, and I think even to my fiance, I said, I feel like my IQ's dropping as I'm getting older, which of course isn't the case. But I was taking about 8 to 10 supplements in the morning, just trying to keep optimum health and energy. And seriously, before I got to breakfast, I was so full of supplements I couldn't eat breakfast with my children. So for me, trying Protandim, I really had nothing to lose. And to my absolute amazement, within 10 days, I actually started feeling fabulous. Now, as Ronelle stated, the science does state that you're supposed to take one bottle for every, 1 month for every decade you've lived. So if you're 30 years old, by the end of 3 months, you should feel the optimum effects. But for me, it was very quick, and quite a few of my customers had the same result. But it's also like a multivitamin. Some people don't have a result, but, you don't stop taking the multivitamin because it's doing good in the background. So I was just amazed. And as I often say, look, the science does speak for itself. So I shared my effects and with a lot of my family and friends and colleagues, and I felt I had to become a distributor because I was getting a lot of interest. The product really does sell itself. And I particularly, when I did my due diligence about the company, I particularly love the philosophy that it's a company that helps people. And my idea of a successful business is that when you're of service to people and when you help people, truly the financial and the money becomes a byproduct of it. So I wasn't expecting to start a business, but based on the extraordinary product and the business model, for me, it truly was a no-brainer. So if you wouldn't mind allowing me now to share the business opportunity with you, because it really is quite extraordinary. So why now? Okay, why now? It's absolutely perfect timing. Although our organisation in the US is a NASDAQ listed company that's been operational for 14 years, we are truly at the foundation stage. And what the foundation stage means is that we're at the base level. Okay, the business is ready to take flight and we're ready to go. Then it hits critical mass. And this is when everyone is familiar with the product and the sales are going through the roof and the business is moving really fast. The stabilization of the business is, the momentum stage is when the business is growing organically. It's running on its own. People are familiar with the product and it's just humming along. And then, of course, you've got the stabilization phase of a business. And the stabilization phase is when the business is mature and when the business runs itself. So the foundation stage is truly the best time to get into any business. And when you've got a brilliant product to support it, it truly is a win-win situation. I'd like to share with you our corporate team, which is really important for me. So our corporate team has been formed in the last couple of years. We have a very strong leadership, which is really what's needed for a business to grow. And all of our executives here have had extensive experience in our industry, some leading their businesses to billion-dollar sales figures. So we are truly ready to go, and we need distributors, and we want to help people and in actually running this business. So the corporate team for me was really important. So how do you start as a customer? As you see, you've got no joining fees. You've got the product, which is about the same price as a really good multivitamin. You've got the skincare, which is so excellently priced for what it is. It's an anti-aging regime rather than a skincare. So the Protandim works from the inside and the skincare is topical. So it's a great combination. So how do you join the business? We have a pack that you purchase and that has product in it. And you can either purchase a silver pack, and I think in the UK you must purchase a silver pack first as a start, and then within a couple of weeks you can upgrade to the gold pack. But I often speak about the platinum pack. The platinum pack is good value, and I believe if you're going to start a business, you really need to be serious about it, and you need to start at the top. With the platinum pack, as you see, you get more product, and the product actually again sells itself. Many of my distributors here in Australia have sold the product within a couple of months to get their investment back. But like any business, I like to say this isn't a get rich scheme. Any business takes time to develop. And this business is so extraordinary. The last thing that I was looking for, already having 3 businesses, was starting a business. And it truly has been wonderful. The people that we surround ourselves with, our leadership team, are extraordinary, and we really feel like one great big LifeVantage family. So that's the benefit of running this business, and that was really the reason I got involved, to help others. So thank you, G.
Thank you, Beata, so much. I really, really appreciate that.
Thank you.
So, we've just got a couple of different business models now that I would love to show you. Now, you don't have to do this, but I do say to people, here's just a couple of suggested ways that you could maybe grow your business. So one is, if you want to start fast. You might have a few people already that you're thinking, yeah, I'd like to maybe invite them in and share with them about the business. You've heard from Beata what an incredible opportunity it is, and then you've heard from Manil what amazing products we have. And look, the timing in the United Kingdom and Europe at the moment, it's only been over there 15 months. And it's truly been a remarkable growth that they've had over there. So, you know, timing is perfect, but we really are a 14-year-old startup. That's what I call us, because we've got all the PubMeds, everything ready to go. So how would you get started? In your first month, you could bring in 5 distributors. And look, that would bring you in nearly £1,500 because they would have upgraded to a platinum. Now, month 2, you actually teach your 5 to find 5 more and 5 customers. So month 2, and you do try to bring in customers because, look, our business is based on customer retention. So then the volume would be about 25,000 and you'd be earning around £900. Now, this £900 came from the distributors that are now in there as a launch bonus, because you haven't actually brought any new distributors on yourself. So then what happens in month 3 is your 5 find 5 and then they all find 5. So then you could be earning approximately nearly £6,000. This will vary depending on how many people you have on an auto ship, but it opens up all sorts of incentives for you when you get to Pro 7. Or you might decide that you want to go a bit slower and you want to sponsor 1 a month. But check this out. When you actually sign up in your month 1 and you both come on a platinum, well, you have 1,000 points each. You've earned £300 from their sign up. Then in month 2, you are going to find a new person and your person will find 1. So now there's 4 in your team. And you would have 1,400. So that's £329 because you found 1 person. Then month 3, it goes down along. But look, I want you to just check this out. Like when you start getting to 32 people, you know, you get around £1,100, but suddenly then you're around £1,900 at month 6. So it has gone slower at the start, but if everybody keeps signing up somebody and they make that part of your business strategy, you can reach some life-changing money within a year's time, even within 8 months' time. So how do you get paid? You get paid through our Smart Start bonus, lots of different ways. We get paid about 6 different ways. The elite pool is when you reach Pro 7, and that's basically the company gives us a share of the sales figures. So they have 4% apportioned for 7, 8, 9, 10, and you go in the pool of 1%. And then when you go to Pro 8, you go into 2%. And now we have something really exciting because we have China, who is opening up on the 1st of January as an e-commerce, which I'll go through that with you. So because we are NASDAQ, that means that we actually have to show exactly what our figures are. So these are the earnings of our distributors up to 2017, June. You can see here Pro 5, you know, there's nearly $8 million US dollars, about $2,500 US that's being paid out per month. Most of the money here you can actually see is in that middle section. It's not like the top people are earning, they may be earning a lot, but there's not lots up there. There's real growth still to be had. And just to give you some idea, there is the highest in the UK is a Pro 7. So there is lots of opportunity for growth in Europe and the UK. But you start really getting in, when you get into this elite pool, it's like you're really starting to get into some life-changing money. So the opportunity is really there to this as a plan B. It's just a great way to put it in the nooks and crannies of your day. So now we're actually going to go through China, and I'm going to quickly present on this. So what does it mean that we've opened in China? Well, look, to give you a little bit of an idea of China, they have the largest consumer market in the world. There's 1.4 billion people that are there. Their shopping habits are predominantly online. They spend $672 billion on online shopping. And even their 80-year-olds, grannies and everything, all have their mobile phone where they do their shopping from. So what are the trends in China at the moment? Look, it's entrepreneurship, beauty, anti-aging. They want a simple model and they have a high mobile usage. So where does Protandem come into this in LifeVantage? Well, LifeVantage is basically in the vortex of everything that is happening in China and their needs and wants at the moment. So the business model over there, we're not actually a direct selling. We're not multi-level marketing. We use a social marketing cross-border e-commerce site over there. So what is this? This is the most secure channel for the shipping process. So it goes from America through customs directly to your customers. So inside China, the customers, it's a nationwide coverage. All that they're being charged is the US retail price on our US products. The VAT is reduced to 11.9%, and it's a really user-friendly e-commerce platform. There's $6.50 US shipping fee with around 5 to 10 day delivery time from the US. So who actually can promote this? They're actually called social marketers. So these are Chinese nationals who register on the e-commerce platform. They pay local taxes, and they basically promote LifeVantage products to customers in China using our platform, and they follow the laws. Now, a social marketer, it's free for them to join, and they get a QR code. But how do they become a social marketer? Well, they're actually found by one of us who are an Asia Advisory Board. So this is basically distributors outside of China. So we're basically classed as marketing consultants appointed by LifeVantage. We must sign a charter which outlines us the rules. And then we consist of associates, partners, and senior partners. And we basically work on the strategy and work on training the social marketers in China. So what kind of products are going to be launched? In phase 1, it's going to be Protandim, Physique, and True Science. And this is typically what a Chinese website looks like for customers. You can see here that it's all in RMB. And if you have a look here, the NRF2 protein kit, there's 6 bottles of Protandim and an a weight loss shake as well. And that's about the total, the maximum that any customer can order at any one time. So the Excel spreadsheet, this is just giving you a couple of examples I've just put together of what really a social marketer could earn and what could you earn by introducing these products to a social marketer. So if we take, for example, I'm just going to bring you over here very quickly. If you see here, one social marketer earns 200 bottles a month. So there's 66,400, you can see here, 200 bottles. Well, if we go to the graph here and we look down the lines here, it's saying the total volume for a social marketer between 50 and 99. If we go right across, it's saying that they'll get 15%. So note that one. So the social marketer's income is 15% here, which works out in Australian dollars, 1992. So Great British pounds is about £1,200. And then the prices decrease here. The Pro 3, who actually introduces the person, is on 40% social marketer income. The Pro 5, who is above them, earns 20% and 20%. Now, if they ended up buying these 200 packs, you would see some really life-changing income, like this income here for the Pro 3 that may have introduced them. Great British pounds, that's probably about £3,000. And that's just for introducing a social marketer to this business. So what do we offer? Our group offers we want to mentor and coach you. We offer a real supportive and group-based learning, which is really duplicatable. We've just touched on China and our business models and everything like that. But when you actually come on board, we teach you, we support you, and we coach you on how to build your businesses. There is lots of team training and skill sets, mindsets, social media, and leadership training. So you're in one of 3 places at the moment. You either like what you've seen, but you'd really like to do some more research, and that's absolutely fine. We have a ton of research, so we'd love to help you and point you in the right direction there. Or you're thinking, I can't wait to get hold of some of these products and become a customer, especially after Ranil's great explanation. Or you might think, you know what, I would really like to become a distributor. I see the opportunity, the products sound great, love the sound of a 14-year-old startup, And I would love you to get in touch with whatever distributor actually told you about this evening's opportunity meeting. So on behalf of Ranil, Beata and myself, I would really like to thank you for coming on board, and I hope you join LifeVantage or start using our products. Thank you. Bye.